Did you know more than 30 billion tons of carbon dioxide are emitted globally each year? According to the IEA, the International Energy Agency, in 2023, 37.4 billion tons were released, a 1.1 increase from 2022. CO2 emissions are a major contributor to the ongoing change to our environment, creating profound effects for our present and future. Climate change is an urgent matter that affects our planet and all living things, including us humans. The long-term shifts to temperature and weather patterns, better known as climate change, has many causes, human and non-human, and even more effects on Earth's environment and life. In this speech, I'll be discussing what causes climate change and how it affects Earth's weather and ecology. Climate change is mainly caused by greenhouse gas emissions that remain in Earth's atmosphere, trapping heat from the sun and causing the global temperature to rise. Climate change is primarily caused by human activity and is also linked to natural events. The Environmental Protection Agency, in their article on EPA.gov that was last updated April 2024, presents the various natural causes of climate change, which include Earth's orbit, changes in Earth's orbit and rotation, solar activity, Earth's reflectivity, volcanic activity, and naturally occurring carbon dioxide concentrations. More prominent are the man-made factors, which include power generation, manufacturing goods, deforestation, transportation, food production, powering buildings, and consumption of electronics. According to an undated article by the United Nations on climate change in UN.org. Burning fossil fuels to generate electricity and heat produce greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide. About 12 million hectares of forests are cut down each year for agriculture, homes, or industry. 1 hectare is over 100,000 square feet of trees. Deforestation releases trees' stored carbon and eliminates natural absorbers of carbon dioxide, leading to greater amounts of CO2 in the atmosphere. In food production, clearing land for agriculture and grazing, keeping livestock, producing fertilizers, using farm equipment, and processing food are major contributors to the emission of CO2, methane, and other greenhouse gases. Now that you know the causes of climate change, how does it affect our environment? In the article on ndrc.org, written in October 2022, reporter Courtney Linwall discusses climate change and its effects on behalf of the National Resources Defense Council. She notes that the planet has already warmed 1.9 degrees Fahrenheit since the pre-industrial era and will continue to warm if we fail to act on the causes of climate change. As global temperatures increase from global warming, droughts, hurricanes, and floods will become more intense, frequent, and unpredictable. With higher average temperatures, heat waves are worsening and are more likely to be experienced. Droughts are becoming more severe and long-lasting, leading to drier environments with less water and withering plants. Dry and hot climates also create conditions for wildfires that spread and burn greater. Warmer air and increased evaporation intensify precipitation, cyclones, hurricanes, and flooding. As ice melts from increasing temperatures, polar regions dwindle and sea levels rise, increasing flooding and submerging places below sea level. The rising temperature and weather fluctuations from climate change also affect all life on Earth. The University Corporation for Atmospheric Research, UCAR, highlights the effects of climate change on ecology in an undated article on scied.ucar.edu. Rising temperatures change the timing of seasons and shift ecosystems, either decreasing or expanding the range of species habitats. Many species can no longer thrive in places they once lived as temperatures rise. Near the warm tropical equator, reef fish cannot adapt and many plant species will be unable to grow due to increasing temperatures. The increase in extreme weather events like heat waves and hurricanes disrupt land and marine ecosystems. Warming ocean temperatures cause coral to expel the algae that produces their food, killing and bleaching the coral that supports about 25% of life in the ocean. Lastly, ice melt significantly damages Arctic species like polar bears, caribou, and penguins that depend on ice for survival. How do humans tie into all of this? Going back to the article by Linwall on nrdc.org, climate change impacts human health, worsens inequity, displaces communities, and hurts economies. Air quality worsens from wildfire smoke and ozone smog caused by warmer conditions. Insect-borne diseases become more pervasive as carriers can exist in more regions and for longer. Extreme weather events like floods, heat waves, and hurricanes will continue to injure and kill people globally. Many developing and less wealthy nations will struggle to combat the climate crisis, and even within developed nations, those without sufficient resources to protect themselves from increasing heat and storms are threatened. As climate change limits food and water water availability causes sea levels rise and increases natural disasters, many are displaced and become refugees. And economies are negatively impacted as industries like fishing and farming take hits from declining environment and nations affected by increasing hurricanes, floods, wildfires spend billions to recover. Now that you know the causes and effects of climate change, let's review. Climate change is a global crisis caused primarily by greenhouse gas emissions, impacting the weather conditions and life on Earth. Although climate change has some natural causes, temperatures rise as human activity emits greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, shifting weather patterns which have intense consequences for ecosystems and humans. As hopeless and inevitable the damage from climate change seems, it's important to be aware of its causes and effects so that we can work towards preventing it.